Hello and welcome to another episode of the BU Bay podcast. Today we're going to talk about quantum human design, and I have Kristi Sullivan with us. She is the human design expert, author, and speaker. And we actually know each other because we co-authored a book last year together. Yay! Stop overworking and start overflowing. And I'm excited just to talk about the difference in quantum human design versus regular human design. So welcome, Kristi. Welcome.
Welcome and thank you. Welcome to your listeners. Thank you for inviting me, giving me the opportunity. And I'm just so excited because we recently just met in person for the first time.
No, I know. It's so cool. It's so cool to see like the online world meeting with your like real world. It's wild.
It really is. So yeah, we were at the Human Design Conference in Colorado, and it was amazing. Didn't you love it? I loved it.
It was really good. It was fascinating to have the conversations. And I think that's why I always go to those types of things is to have those conversations with people that are, I don't know, just like personal. Like there's something about being in the room with people that changes the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah, and it definitely was a high vibe room. I feel like the
Yeah.
people there, whether they were there for human design for their business or personal, we just felt like we were all in the same mission of just getting to
Mhm.
know ourselves
Yeah.
deeper, to helping others get to know themselves on a deeper level. And I loved it. I really felt very connected to I was going to say the women there, but there was actually some men too.
There were a couple. It was actually interesting. I feel like maybe it's because astrology is so female heavy and human design is similar to us. I mean, it uses parts of astrology, right? Um, and that's why I don't know. Do you think there's a reason why more women are into human design than men right now?
I think women in general are just usually the first to want to know
Mhm.
more about themselves and be
Yeah.
like, how do I shift things or fix things, even though we know we're not meant to be fixed.
Yeah.
But they want to do things in a different way, whether it's their relationships or make changes in their business or careers. And I think women just tend to dive into that inner personal development. And I think that that's what leads them to human design, or as I say, human design finds you in the right time.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And then I think the more we do it, I know I'm getting my husband into it, the more I talk about it. And they just
Yeah,
kind of
mine too.
eventually pick up like, oh, maybe there is something to this.
Yeah, even a shout out, my sister-in-law was there and with my brother, and he was sort of picking up on the sidelines some things. So that was quite interesting to see
Cool.
another,
That is
ripple
cool.
effect.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about quantum human design because Karen Curry Parker is shifting the verbiage around human design. I mean, Ra's teachings did I mean, he's just it's shocking, right? Like it's kind of in the shadow. It's harsh. I mean, the profile lines martyr and hermit and like really those are the words. Those are the words we're gonna choose. But Karen is taking a new spin on it. And I think you even know more about this than I do. I mean, I love her work. I use her interpretation of the gates a lot in the work that I do. Um, but it's also it's like combining the 2. So I feel like you explained this in a really beautiful way before we started. So I'd love for you to talk about the difference between the 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to state what I heard and what came through to me very strong in the event, because I think we touched on quantum human design,
Mhm,
which is what Karen sort of has created in a way. But going back first to Ra, who's the founder of human design, I do think that he had the gate of shock, but he used words to awaken us, to kind of help us say, this is an aspect of us. And for some of us, and for many, it's we have to look at the not self
yeah.
themes. We have to look at who we are, who we've been, and how have we been not only naturally programmed through human design, but also what are these life stories and patterns and
Mhm.
paths that have reinforced some of the shadow, or
Yes.
maybe the lower expression,
Yeah.
because again, we don't know what we don't know, and we're all on a self exploration journey. So once I think we wake up to that, what the beautiful thing is, even with traditional human design and those words, is that it wakes us up to say, hey, how can I be the hermit or the martyr, or
Mhm.
the manifester, in a way that honors who I am, and helps me evolve. And I think what happened with Karen in her study of that is, she helped transform the words, the language, because we know that in her background, words are scientifically shown to be very powerful
Yep.
in what we create
Yep.
through the quantum realm. That she took, I think, her manifesting generator type, which was creative, and responded to the idea that these shadow words, we could create more light words.
Yeah.
And so she described quantum human design as the words of showing us who we're becoming, whereas traditional human design is the words and the concepts of who we've been or are.
Ooh, that's a beautiful distinction of who we are becoming instead of who we are or programmed, really. All the conditioning that has happened. And who do we now want to be with this like energetic blueprint in front of us? Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel also that the words are helping us to again evolve and become more in line with our spirit and our divine parts
Mhm.
and the
Mhm.
soul of this cosmic plane.
Yeah.
If you believe that you were, in the cosmic realm, and then you came down to this earthly plane, right? And one of our missions is just to get to know ourselves, to remember who we are on that divine cosmic realm. And so I feel like the quantum human design really like connects us to that very spiritual, divine, cosmic, inner world
Yeah.
and outer world
Yeah.
that we're evolving to.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love how she splits it out into like what the gift is, right? And the shadow, right? So you can really clearly see, oh, I'm in the shadow of this gate 100%. I'm worrying about things, I'm fearing, I'm holding myself back versus what can be the higher expression or the gift of this energy. And all of it has a shadow and a gift, whether it's open or defined, it's all duality. I don't know if that's you,
Hmm.
right?
We have to hold
And you
both.
get
We
to
have to honor
choose.
both are there. Yep, and
Yeah, they're
choose.
both there, and we get to choose which one we want to express, and be in. So I love that. I love that. Um, what how do you see this changing human design over the next 10 years? Do you
Mm. And again, I want to just restate that both, you need both. I think traditional human design and the
Mhm.
quantum human design, and we've heard of something called gene keys, which is another expression of, I think,
Yes.
shadow and light, and
Yes.
gifts, that you have
Absolutely.
to know both. I think that it's not going to replace one,
Mhm.
but it expands us to know. Um, it's like taking one interpretation and expanding it and looking at another perspective. So I think that if most of us have open heads and ajnas, and even if you don't, that it's always just a good idea to look at things through a different lens. There
Mhm.
may be something you didn't see, or a
Mhm.
way of thinking about things or receiving it, embodying it, that again just expands us and evolves us. We
Yeah.
don't usually, if we're in a box. So I
Yeah.
think this human design language and I don't want to call it a system because it's not different, but just the view and perspective is expanding us. And so I think that's where it's going.
For sure. And I want to touch on like this idea of the box. I feel like a lot of people come to human design looking for answers and wind up putting themselves in another box, right? And not truly using it the way that I think it was meant to be used. It's meant as a tool to explore yourself how you operate, but it's not meant to put you into a box. Like if you're a manifester, it doesn't mean that you are, this shocking person that no one likes and come off with like bitch energy or whatever. Like it's meant to help you understand yourself on a deeper level. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And we talked about at the conference labeling that, we don't need another label. What we
Yeah.
what we need to recognize is our uniqueness.
Yeah.
Even though we start with something called the type in human design, that layer, that category,
Mhm.
it is just the starting point. And what I love, I always say about human design, there's 3 billion combinations. So really, you are unique. I've never read two charts that are
Nope.
same. You probably haven't
Nope.
either, right?
Nope.
And it's just amazing. And so the labeling, we don't want to get stuck into that.
Yeah.
I think sometimes there's an idea of safety around, like, if I know what box I'm in. But
Mhm.
as we're seeing, part of this evolution and expansion is diversity and
Mhm.
connecting to others and
Mhm.
inclusivity, and really honoring, getting to know our own uniqueness, honoring that, and then getting to know others for
Mhm.
who they are uniquely. And I
Yeah.
think that's important if you're going to use human design.
Oh, so important. Absolutely. Yeah, it's 100% about learning who you are and how your energy flows and how it feels good and what doesn't feel good, and honoring that while also seeing that other people are going to be different. And I know that when I see someone's chart that I know in my personal life or something like that, it makes a lot of sense why they do the things that they do. And instantly can feel like, oh, I get it, why you did that. And it's not, and it, I don't think take things personally. I think that's where I'm going with it.
Mm,
Right. Like it's not, everyone is so, so different. And yet we all just want to be loved and have safety and feel like we're being seen at the end of the day. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Do you
Uh,
want to talk about some of the types and the quantum
Ooh,
language?
yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Karen again and this new book she came out with called the Encyclopedia of Quantum Human Design. So I've started to dive into it. It's a pretty thick book,
It is a thick book. There's
and
a lot in
yeah,
there. And she goes into all the incarnation crosses too, which is
yeah, that's a big chunk of the book. Yeah,
big chunk
and
of the book.
I just started to look at the types and how she words it
Mhm.
and the different ways she labels things. So, um,
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the
yeah,
5 types, in terms of Karen's language. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna actually read a line or two from it,
Okay.
and then you can respond.
I love it.
And so we're gonna start with the traditional manifester. She calls them the initiators, and that
Mhm.
their spiritual purpose is to translate divine inspiration into action. Their purpose, the quantum purpose, is to initiate people into the frequency of transformation and creativity through the direct access of the quantum pulse. Oh my God, that sounds powerful.
Ooh, yeah, love that. I mean, Ra talks about the vision, right? And that is what she's talking about it, but she's talking about it in a really powerful way. Like you're getting a download, you're getting something that has never been before. And you are here to bring that to the world. So that's why it's like no marketing is ever going, like, don't copy someone else's marketing as a manifester. You have to feel into, what do you want to do? What is like, do you see another way to do marketing? Do you see another way to talk about what you do that no one else is doing? I love that.
And I
Yeah.
think some of what she's also pointing to is the download that they get, right? So
Mhm.
it's what they may see, but also what comes through them, like that
Yeah.
connection to
Yeah.
quantum pulse, divine inspiration. It just feels so much more bigger than ourselves. And those initiators or manifestors, as we know them, are
Yeah.
here to like be that channel.
Yeah. Yeah. I see a lot of manifestors afraid to be that channel. too. Like they back down and back away from what they are like, "Oh, I see something really, really big here, but I'm afraid." Right?
Mm. So something she talks about, we know a manifester, it's called the emotional theme, or the not self theme,
The
is
not self theme. Yep.
in traditional is anger.
Mhm.
And in the quantum like language, that's a signal that there's an interruption in that creativity flow. And so I wonder if manifestors may shy away because so much of their lives they may have had that interruption, and the anger comes up, and we're taught not to like feel angry. And we're not saying like go out and get angry and take your
Right.
anger out. We're saying anger is that signal to stop and be like, how do I get back into the flow? There's
Mhm.
something trying to come through me and it's getting
Mm.
disruptive. Do I need to go shut the door and take some time alone, and get back into that flow and initiate?
Oh my god, I love that. There's something in the way that's blocking my flow. Oh my god, yes. Yes, I love that. Mm. Initiators, love it.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one, we're going to talk about the generator type. These are the pure generators, I guess. They're not the manifesting. That's next. This is renamed or referred to as the alchemist. And I'm a generator, so I love this. I love alchemist. Our spiritual purpose is to turn inspiration into form. And
Mhm.
quantum purpose is to physically manifest creativity and express through devotion. And I want to say a few things about this. It really hit me because that devotion is
Yeah.
sticking with something to know we have to master it.
Yes.
And to, again, it's like our connection to source is we, if we have the right opportunity and find that purpose and keep going. The other word I picked up in her book is referred to as we are engineering. Um, it's not the job of the alchemist to figure things out, but to engineer a course through life by allowing opportunities and experiences to show up and follow the ones that feel good and correct. And I love that word engineering because it means we may not be initiating, but we're taking something
Yeah.
inspired from the manifestor, potentially from the
Yeah.
initiator, into form. We're engineering it into form.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, it's building the form, like creating it in the 3D. Oh, love that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And so here it also talks about the idea of frustration, that generators will have that emotional theme come up. It's almost part of the path because it signals a plateau. It signals a
Yep.
period where we feel like nothing's like moving. We're
Yeah.
not mastering.
Yeah.
We're not getting to that
Yeah.
next level, because it's really the pause or the signal that something is coming.
Mhm.
And so learning again to not push away that frustration or feel like we have to change it, but to say, this is a signal.
Yep.
And usually I say, because I'm a generator, go do some self-care. Same thing for the initiators. If you're feeling angry, go do some self-care. It's like that signal of, let me work on my energy. Let me work
Mhm.
on aligning
Mhm.
myself. Do
Mhm.
you ever feel that way?
Oh my god, I feel like that all the time. Not all the time, but definitely at least every 6 months hitting some type of that plateau, that frustration, that like, "Oh, why isn't this working?" It feels dull and a little bit heavy. I don't feel as inspired to go out and create things. It just feels meh. And you're right. It is for me, it's self-care, but it's also going, "Ooh, what what do I need to understand on a deeper level? What do I need to release in what I'm desiring?" Right? And it's like going back and really working on my inner self and doing that inner work. And then the plateau goes so much faster. And it, yeah, but yeah, 100% feel that. And yeah, 100% feel that.
And I want to mention, I think your listeners know you're a manifesting generator, which
Yeah.
is a different category or label, but related to the generator. So, like you said, you feel the plateaus.
Yeah.
But the manifesting generator, I loved how you said you want it, it goes faster because they are renamed or referred to now as the time bender, right?
Mhm.
I
Yep.
love this. I love time, that concept of time bending. I think it's so cool. But their spiritual purpose is to turn also inspiration into form, same as the
Yep.
generator.
Yeah.
And their quantum purpose is to physically manifest creativity and speed up the quantum process and linear time. It's almost like this idea that, like, time is just a construct. We can manifest so quickly, we can create so quickly. So the
Mhm.
time bender is here to remind us when you're turning that inspiration into form that we don't have to do it in such a long process, especially when we have a time bender in our corner.
Totally. And I want to say the one thing that came out in the conference when we were talking about these different types was the need to go at our own pace. And whether that's slow or whether that's fast. And I was like, "Oh, yes," because initially when I understood human design in the very beginning, I was like, "Why? I'm supposed to go fast. I'm supposed to skip steps. I'm supposed to be like 1,000 years light years ahead, and I'm feeling like I'm 100 years behind and not going fast at all, right?" And I think a lot of manifesting generators get stuck in that thinking that they should be so much further ahead than they actually are. And it's when we slow down our own process and just be in the flow of what we're creating and what we're doing, that's when we speed up time. It's when we forget that like time even exists and we just go with our own flow. That's when there's like, yeah, time bending.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and also, this is part of the creative process. So time benders are a hybrid of sorts, a blending of
Hmm.
the manifesting energy similar to that of the initiator and the proficiency of the alchemist. So
Hmm.
you've got not only that mastering but also that creativity. So flow is important, and again, there can be
Yes.
sometimes that emotional theme of anger if there's a
Yep.
disruption. There's also the frustration, as you mentioned, like the
Yep.
plateau earlier. And I just find that the informing piece is important also
Mhm.
for the time bender because that can help also with that creativity flow and
Yeah.
that disruption. We didn't talk about that with the initiator, but the same, that communicating, informing can
Yep.
help the flow of the creativity and the flow of time.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, any especially big decisions, it's like I decide and then I tell the people that like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing." Yeah. Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
asking for permission, but it's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this. Do you have any objections?" Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just letting you know,
Just
and
let you know.
you can work around this.
I always feel better, especially when it's my husband, when mostly it's just when it's him. I feel better when I phrase it as like, "This is what I want to do. Do you have any objections?" Because then it feels like he
Yeah.
has a little bit of a say in it, even though he's like, "Well, why? I mean, you're just telling me, you're not gonna listen to anything I say." I'm like, "Well, that's true, but I wanna give you a little bit of a like, you
Yeah.
can object if you want to, and we can talk through it, but I have made up my mind." So,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think on the other side of it, like, I'm a generator whose like husband is a manifesting generator. I approach it
mhm,
with some information, or I'll ask questions, for example, and know he's providing informing and providing information, and that I can be a little bit flexible, saying,
yep,
okay, like how can that what you want happen, and we make this also part of the day or something, so it's kind of honoring
yeah, yeah.
honoring the request, so it's not turning it down, and not a yeah, and supporting it. But I love the objection part because it's like it's just really kind of helping get people's support.
No, I love that, and actually, I feel like that's kind of what I try to do with my manifesting generator kids, is allowing them to I mean, they can tell me what they want to do, right? But there is like, we're still family, there's still children, I'm still the parent, like, there's
Yeah.
still some, like, negotiation that has to happen. They can't run amok completely. But yeah, it's understanding, okay, I hear you. That's what you want to do. How can we come to a consensus on this and you still have the space and the freedom that you really want? I know I really wanted that as a kid. Um, and still like comply with what we're doing as a family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sounds like some managing. And this leads to our next type. So the projector is
Mhm.
renamed in quantum human design the orchestrator.
Mm,
And their spiritual purpose is here. And we know they are here to manage and guide and
yep.
help others. But their spiritual purpose is here to actually anchor the energetic template of what we're here to create, to
Mm,
align the energy of the world and heal the planet's energy, and their quantum purpose to hold the energy template of what's to come and clear the vibration of the collective consciousness. When I hear this, it makes me feel like they've got this huge job. And that's
That's
why
what
they
I was
need a
thinking. I
lot of
was like,
rest.
oh, thank God I'm not a projector.
And they need a lot of rest for it too.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense why they need a lot of rest is because they are holding so much and so much space. Um, yeah, when you're in holding the energetic space for people, it's a lot of work. You need a lot of rest. Oh,
Yeah. And I have a lot of people in my membership circle who are projectors, and I was just sharing some of this information. And what I also took away from this quantum language and the becoming is that the invitation, which often to a projector can sound like, oh gosh, I have to like wait and be invited, and like
mhm.
it seems passive, but really what they're doing is conserving their energy for the right thing, for the right
Oh,
invitation, because then when they say yes, the impact is greater. So there was this phrase in the book where it's like, rather than just taking a sip of water from anyone who extends the cup, you want to be really mindful and choose where to put your energy. So that's why the invitation is important, because it's someone recognizing and you saying, and then using your authority,
yeah.
saying yes
Yeah.
to the right thing. Otherwise, their emotional theme is bitter. And bitter is usually two things. You didn't either, your energy is not making an impact because it's not the
Mhm.
right invitation, or you
Mhm.
need rest and you're not resting as a projector or orchestrator.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally see that in my husband who's a projector. If he isn't resting or if he isn't allowed that space to just be, he does get really bitter. Really bitter. Um,
Mm,
mm, I also really love the language because I feel like it's giving the projectors or the ability to honor, I guess, their own energy. And I always tell them to just make yourself visible doing what you love and the invitations come. Like there's no going out and seeking. I mean, there isn't really with anyone, but especially with projectors, it's literally just making yourself visible in whatever way feels easy and light, and sharing what you love. And that's when people are like, oh, they see you, right? And then they start to magnetize to you and bring invitations to you. So I love that the
yeah,
language in quantum human design is kind of shifting it more to that versus the like waiting for the
yeah.
invitation, right? Yeah.
And the visual I get, because I always say projectors like sit on a purple pillow. They're grand, and they've got an open sign right at
Mhm.
the outside of the hut, and they're
Yep.
sitting in that purple pillow. Just people come to them when they need them. And this other visual with quantum is they're holding up this template.
Yeah.
They are they're healing the planet's energy. That means that, and I know again the projectors that I'm familiar with who are in my network, they're doing the inner work for themselves to help
Mhm.
that ripple effect and heal the planet. So
Absolutely.
they're doing more of that than the doing. They're doing their own growth, spiritual growth, and
Yeah.
self-study, and like you said, just being visible.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. Love it.
Right, the last category, this is the rarest, is the reflector. And in quantum human design, we call them the calibrator. Their spiritual purpose to be the barometer of the alignment of humanity with the heart.
Mm.
And the heart, as we learned, is the magnetic
Mhm.
monopole, which is a
Mhm.
huge mission for them um, to align humanity with heart. The quantum purpose of a calibrator is to mirror to others the human condition and the human potential, and another like lofty role where they need also time and rest. But that just
Yeah.
that's really deep.
Mhm. And, oh, we had a conversation with the A reflector, at
And there
the
were
conference.
3 in this
There were
conference.
3. Yes, that was the wild thing, 3 of them. We had, and I feel like a lot of the, human design community paints reflectors as kind of this soft, almost like blending into the background type personality. And the reflector we met was nothing like that. She was the complete opposite of that. She was fiery. She was passionate. She was like, oh, she had so much she had to say and wanted to say. And I think what I took away from that was that they can truly be whatever they want to be, right?
Yeah.
Especially depending on the people around them, but they can show us the full spectrum of potential, right?
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that. The full spectrum of potential of humanity and what we can be and do and just embody. I thought that was so incredible. I loved that she was so fiery.
Yeah. Yeah. And emotional theme for the calibrator is or reflector is disappointment. And
Mhm.
I'm reading a line again from Karen's book, The Encyclopedia of Quantum Human Design. Disappointment signals that the calibrator may not be in the right place with the right people and may need to change their community to reflect a
Mhm.
different potential for fulfillment. So, totally
Yeah.
agree. They can choose or be
Yep.
who they are meant to be in the right environment. So
Yep.
they need to make that, that choice and that decision. And the other thing they can feel sometimes disappointment around is time, getting back to time, because
Yeah.
they need the whole 28-day lunar cycle.
Mhm.
They need that for the clarity. And that can sometimes be hard. It says, um, in this world of fast-paced decision making, it can be sometimes a difficult thing for the reflector or calibrator to
Mhm.
wait and get
Mhm.
that clarity. But
Mhm.
then it leads to disappointment. So if they can give themselves that grace, that they just need
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Just take a little bit of time. I love it. Oh, I love the way she's changing the language and changing the narrative around what is possible and not to get so stuck into the rigidity that sometimes we can with human design for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's like up leveling us
Oh,
all.
oh, for sure.
And again, like I so appreciate the awakening and shock that human design
Yep.
traditional can bring, and then to just layer this
Yeah.
over it. I know I'm excited to continue learning more about quantum human design and using it when I teach others and
Yeah.
when we have conversations like this.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Um, where can people find you and connect with you? And you mentioned your circle. Share about
Thank
that.
you. Thank you so much. So I do a lot of podcast interviews. I love speaking at events. So if there's opportunities there, you can reach me um, at KristiHSullivan.com, or I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Kristi H. Sullivan. I have a Facebook group that anyone can join called Kristi's Human Design and Self Care Community. And I do offer one-to-one readings and group workshops. I love to teach basic human design.
Yeah.
It sets people up, for example, working with you, Rachel,
Yep.
for their copywriting or
Yeah.
If they just want to dip their toes in. But then I also have a membership circle for those who want further support. So, like once a week, we just do a connection call and sometimes we talk more about human design and life and how to integrate it.
Oh, I love that. We need more of that. Love it. And I'll put all the links in the show notes and the link to the book that Christy and I wrote together last year, which is an awesome book. It was multi-author, several. I mean, it was a fun project and loved it. And yeah, anything else, Christy?
Just again, thanks for having me. My 4-6 and your 4-6 connect, and
I
appreciate
know, right?
this time to share and help others with connecting to human design, to the resources of human design. So
Yeah.
thank you. I'm so grateful we met.
Thanks, Christine. Thank you so much, and have a great week, everybody.